What if I told you that Cadillac just built something that makes every other luxury sedan on the planet look like it was designed a decade ago? Because that is exactly what happened. And what you are about to see is not a concept. It is not a render. This is the real, officially unveiled, production-ready 2026 Cadillac Coupe DeVille, and it is nothing short of a complete reinvention of what American luxury means in the modern era. Welcome back to Premium Automotive Reviews, where we go beyond the glossy press releases and give you the kind of deep, honest breakdown that actually helps you understand why a car matters, not just what it costs. If you are new here, this channel exists for one reason: to make sure you never walk away from a car conversation feeling like you missed something. And trust me, you do not want to miss what Cadillac has done here. The DeVille name carries so much weight. It is a nameplate that defined an entire generation of American prestige. Wide, bold, unapologetically grand. But somewhere along the way, that spirit got lost. Cadillac became cautious, safe. And for years, the brand that once ruled the roads became a footnote in a conversation dominated by European automakers. That changes right now. Because what Cadillac has done with this 2026 Coupe DeVille is not just a revival. It is a statement, a declaration that America is back in the luxury game, and it brought everything. Let's talk about what you see first, because the exterior of this car will stop you cold. The silhouette is long, low, and impossibly elegant. A two-door coupe body that stretches with the kind of confidence usually reserved for ultra-exclusive grand tourers. The roofline flows seamlessly from the steeply raked windshield all the way back to a fastback-style tail, giving it this dramatic, swept motion even when it is standing completely still. You get the sense that this car is already moving before you even turn the key. Up front, Cadillac has reimagined its signature vertical grille in a way that feels futuristic without abandoning heritage. The grille is taller, more architectural, framed by razor-thin LED lighting elements that run in a single illuminated bar across the full width of the hood. At night, those lights glow with a precision that is almost surgical, and when the car wakes up, there is a sequential lighting sequence that makes it feel alive. Not flashy for the sake of attention. Purposeful, confident, the kind of light show that makes you stop and stare because it feels engineered, not gimmicked. The headlights themselves are a story. Multi-element LED projectors are tucked into a sculptural housing that blends into the front fender with no visible seams, no awkward gaps. It is one continuous form. The lower bumper is structured like the front end of something that understands aerodynamics. Deep air curtains at both corners, a precisely designed lower chin spoiler, and vents behind the front wheels that are not decorative. They are functional, channeling airflow away from the wheel arches to reduce drag. Cadillac's engineers clearly worked alongside designers from day one on this, and it shows. Move along the side profile, and the proportions become even more impressive. Those wheels, massive multi-spoke turbine-style alloys that fill the arches completely, give the car a planted, almost predatory stance. The body is clean in a way that most designers dream of but rarely achieve. Almost no sharp character lines interrupting the surface. Instead, the metal itself creates light and shadow as it curves, so the car reads differently depending on the angle you are looking from. In sunlight, it is a rolling sculpture. In motion, it is something else entirely. The rear of the DeVille is where Cadillac made its boldest move. The taillights are embedded into the C-pillar and flow diagonally down the body in a way that looks like they were drawn in a single brushstroke. They are wide, graphic, deeply red when illuminated, and they frame the trunk lid in a way that gives the car a wide, authoritative stance from behind. Below that, a carbon fiber look diffuser with quad exhaust tips. This is a car that is not shy about what it can do. Now here is where things get genuinely interesting. Because if the outside of this car already repositions Cadillac in your mind, then the interior is what makes you realize this is a completely different company than the one that existed 5 years ago. Step inside, and the first thing that hits you is the material quality. Deep cognac leather, diamonds stitched across every surface that matters: seats, door cards, the armrest that runs the full length of the center console. Real, open-pore wood trim, not the painted plastic that too many luxury brands still sneak into their cabins. Brushed aluminum accents that are cold to the touch because they are actually metal. Every surface you interact with communicates value before you even sit down. The dashboard architecture is wide, layered, and almost architectural in its design. A sweeping curved display module spans nearly the full width of the cabin, housing a 33-inch ultra-resolution screen that integrates the instrument cluster and infotainment into one seamless panoramic canvas. And the way that screen has been integrated is critical. There are no visible bezels, no awkward mounting brackets. It appears to float within the dashboard structure, backlit by ambient lighting that shifts based on your drive mode and time of day. It feels like something from the interior of a private aircraft, not a production car. The infotainment system running this setup is Cadillac's next-generation platform, built on a completely new architecture that processes inputs with zero noticeable lag. The interface is clean, with large touch zones, intuitive navigation, and a level of responsiveness that makes everything feel instant. Voice recognition has been dramatically upgraded. The system understands natural language, not just commands. You can have a genuine conversation with this car. Ask it to find a restaurant, adjust your driving dynamics, dim the ambient lights, or play something specific, and it understands context. It is not perfect yet, but it is genuinely impressive, and it updates over the air, which means it gets better the longer you own it. There is also a separate secondary touchscreen embedded in the center console that handles climate control, seat functions, and every comfort setting you can think of. And the cabin itself, despite the dramatic coupe roofline, does not punish you for choosing style. The sweeping panoramic glass roof floods the interior with light. The seats are wide and deeply bolstered, and the overall sense of space is far more generous than a car this low and this sleek has any right to offer. This is the kind of interior that makes a 2-hour drive feel like it lasted 20 minutes. Let's talk performance, because this is the part that Cadillac is being particularly strategic about. The 2026 DeVille is confirmed to offer a twin-turbocharged V8 in its range-topping configuration, a power plant that produces somewhere in the neighborhood of 550 horsepower and delivers that power through an 8-speed automatic transmission to all 4 wheels. This is not a gentle car, but it does not feel aggressive in the way performance sedans from competitors do. The tuning is oriented toward effortless, authoritative speed, the kind where you press the accelerator and the car simply surges forward with a deep, cultured exhaust note. Not a scream, a rumble. The difference matters. The suspension is a fully adaptive air ride system that reads road conditions in real time and adjusts damping force before you even feel a bump. At highway speeds, this car is as composed as anything you have ever driven. Body motion is controlled to a degree that makes you forget you are piloting something that weighs close to 2 tons. And in its more spirited mode, the steering sharpens, the exhaust opens up slightly, and the whole character of the car shifts. You feel it, but it never feels desperate. It feels deliberate. The safety and driver assistance technology in this car deserves its own conversation. Cadillac's Super Cruise system, arguably the most capable hands-free driver assistance technology offered in any production vehicle, has been updated for this generation with expanded map coverage, enhanced camera resolution, and automatic lane-changing capability that now works with minimal input. The car knows where it is, it knows what is around it, and on compatible highways, it can genuinely shoulder a significant portion of the driving responsibility. It is not autonomy, but it is the most convincing preview of it that exists right now. Beyond that, you get a full suite of active safety systems, collision warnings, emergency braking, blind spot monitoring with active steering correction, rear cross-traffic alert, and a 360-degree camera system with remarkably high resolution. Parking this car, despite its substantial footprint, is something that the technology makes manageable even in tight urban environments. And that brings up a point worth spending a moment on. Who is this car actually for? Because it would be easy to look at the price tag this DeVille will eventually carry and assume it is a niche proposition. It is not. This is a car for someone who refuses to choose between drama and comfort, between technology and elegance, between American identity and global luxury credibility. This is for the person who looks at European ultra-luxury alternatives and thinks, there should be an American answer to this. There is now. The 2026 Cadillac Coupe DeVille is not the resurrection of a nameplate. It is the birth of something new wearing a legendary name. It takes everything that badge once stood for: presence, ambition, unapologetic grandeur, and rebuilds it with modern intelligence, modern craft, and modern purpose. It is the most important Cadillac in a generation. And that is not hype. That is just what happens when a brand stops playing it safe and starts building something it actually believes in. If this kind of deep, unfiltered look at the cars that are genuinely reshaping the industry is what you are here for, hit that like button and subscribe. Because there is a lot more coming to this channel, and you will want to be here when it does. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Would you take the V8? Or are you waiting to see what Cadillac does with an electrified powertrain option? The conversation starts right there.